Welcome everyone, it's the American Aces Golf Show. It's Masters Week and we have a great lineup next to me, but nothing better than Masters Week. I don't know if you love golf or you don't. This week is for you. We have a big lineup. We have the Q stick next to me, Kieran Nolan, the face of Tee It Up podcast and the player's voice of Australian golf. It's great to have you on the American Aces Golf Show, mate.
Pleasure to be back. Absolutely pumped. Love your show. Love your audience. So, yeah. Big week.
And we're looking forward to all your insights because the Q-Stick knows what he's talking about. We also have Dom Tyson, the founder of Clutch & Co. Dommy boy, geez, you're looking sharp. What do you got on top there?
Traino, little co-branded vest, mate, that we rolled out for the recent PointsBet American Aces Golf Day. Big success down at Northern, mate. That many activations. You don't know what's coming every time you hit to a tee box. We love it.
Speaking of activations, PointsBet were best on at the Golf Day, I think, and we have the head of VIP and a man who fancies himself on the golf course. That is Elliot Forbes. Welcome to American Aces, mate. This is your debut.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. Very excited to be here and hopefully we can steer everyone into a winner or two over the week.
Now, let's just kick it off the top here, Forbesy, but what's the worst result for PointsBet?
Look, we might go out of business if Min Woo Lee manages to back this up. He's in good form. The punters are coming for him. He's a big price at the moment, currently $56. So we'll be fading Min Woo Lee, but as a fan of the Aussies and of Australian golf, I'd be pretty happy if you did get the chocolates.
There we go. Well, it's my tip later on, but that's not about me. I'm here to host. We have a great lineup. The agenda is slick. There's a big competition already going, guys. If you can see the bags behind me, if you want to win one of these, head online at ausamericanaces.com.au and enter into our sweep. We have an amazing sweep. And as I said off the top, we are powered by PointsBet and our friends Inglewood Coffee Roasters. You can win a year's supply of coffee beans from Inglewood and you'll be able to win one of these bags in our sweep. So enter. It's free. That's enough from me. It's time to talk golf and it's time to talk about the Masters. Q.
Yes.
I want to start off with the Aussies. Talk to me about the Aussies. They're the only blokes I care about. Tell me which one's going to take it out.
We've got 5 genuine chances this year at Augusta. Some players in super form. Unfortunately, Mark Leishman and those sort of guys who've just won on Live won't be there. But for the 5 chances we've got, kicks off with the great man, Min Woo, who's finally got the duck off the back with his maiden PGA Tour win a couple of weeks ago in Texas. Won in emphatic fashion, held off Scotty Scheffler, like he was breathing down his neck. Got a little bit wobbly there towards the end, but finished out really well. He's, can move the ball always and suits Augusta really well. He's got the lowest front 9 at Augusta National, which he shot 2 years ago when Scotty Scheffler got it done. And he's, just...
He's got personality, Q.
He's got plenty of it.
Yeah. You've reeled off the stats, but he's just fantastic to watch, Min Woo. He engages his box office.
Let him cook, boys.
Let him cook. Dr. Chimpitsky or whatever he calls himself, the chef. Lululemon's running some chef hats at events and doing all sorts of things. So I think he's one of 3 brother-sister combinations to win on the PGA Tour with his sister there, Min G. So great Aussie family doing great things on the world global scale golf tournament events. Love Min Woo.
Is there any other Aussies that you fancy? Is Min Woo number 1 ranked going into the Masters in your eyes?
For me, no. I think the man Cameron Smith is the man to watch this week for Australians at Augusta National. He's got some great results there with a tied 6th. Last year, tied 34th, tied 3rd, tied 10th, tied 2nd, tied 51st, tied 5th and tied 55th in all of his starts at Augusta National. So he's a cut-making machine. He's in pretty good form. He went all right at Miami in a tied 9th with the Ripper team winning at Live Golf. So he's got a new high-performance coach for Ripper GC's Tony Mayer. He's been with Golf Australia for a long time. He's been there sort of bringing it all together for Ripper GC, getting the players to work a bit more individually. That's what Cam said in his post-round presser yesterday. 5 top 10 finishes at Augusta in 8 starts, so it's pretty impressive. Personal life, he's just had his first child. He's a father of a son called Remy. I think he's in a really good spot. He's got the second most top 10s at the Masters in the last 10 years, only behind Rory. So he joins DJ Rahm and Spieth there. So, Cam's a major machine. I think he's getting into that Brooks Koepka mindset where it's like focus on the majors and lives there as a machine to sort of oil him. So.
That's very good. Speaking of Ripper GC, Forbes, you're a machine at the after party at Live Golf. Is that my mail correct?
Yeah, it's good mail. One of the great parties of all time. So Live is a fantastic event. So if you've never done the trip, it's basically schoolies for blokes that love golf and enjoy a good time and get out there, watch some golf. And some of the after parties are a lot of fun late in the evening.
How was the after party? Because a few of the big dogs were hanging around. Cam Smith was there. I saw you got a photo with him, didn't you?
Yeah, Cam Smith was there. Leishman was there. So we discussed grass for about 45 minutes and I think he'd had enough of me by the end, asking him sort of what grass he was going to roll with this year at home. But fantastic event, a lot of fun, and one of the great parties. So if you can get there next year, it's well worth it.
I think Forbesy was just the entree for Adelaide, mate. You're the main event coming up for Gather Round.
Oh, yeah. Well, talking to Gather Round, get to the Cumbie this week. We'll be flying around. There's so much going on this week. The Masters, Gather Round. Are you heading over, by the way, Dommy?
No, I'm not. No, mate, busy down at Clutch & Co HQ and bit of work down at the
Packing
Magpies.
orders after those little custom embroidery American Aces come out on the top there. Now, before we keep moving about the Aussies, what is it about the Masters, Dommy? Like, why do you love the Masters so much?
I think a lot of Australians fell in love with the Masters, Greg Norman's sort of trials and tribulations. But for me, it was the Adam Scott win in 2013. I remember being up at the GWS Giants, battling a PCL, MCL reconstruction, sitting on the physio table. Physio's releasing my hip, saying it's going to help my knee and doing all sorts of things. And up in the background, Adam Scott was in that playoff event, 10th hole, sunk that putt against Angel Cabrera. Jailbird. He's actually out of jail, back playing as a past winner.
He did too. Yeah.
So he might be a smoky. You never know. Worked on his short game in jail, but
just those 5x5 putts, hey, Tommy.
Nothing else to do with it.
What about you, Traino? Why do you love the Masters?
Oh, I just love to punt on it. I seriously love the odds that PointsBet just give us. It's such a good week though. Like I do enjoy my golf, but I love a lot of sport. But the Masters, it's like I can't keep my eyes off the screen. I reckon it's every single player playing. I love watching them. I even love watching them just warm up and just hit the ball. They cover it so well. We know how much work they do to the course. It's incredible. So even the bloke that commentates, what's his name with the
Jim Nance?
Oh, his voice. Yeah. It's got to be the best voice in the world. You could almost put that on before bed just to put you to sleep. He's just got a nice voice. Now, there's a lot of reasons why. Tiger Woods was his win a few years back. Probably one of the most inspirational things you'll see. If they do a documentary or a movie, I'm sure they will. That's got to be right up there. I know Michael Jordan's done his Last Dance, but I reckon that's got to be one of the best you'll ever see if he does something.
It was a stacked leaderboard that 2019 year too. So it wasn't as he danced with them and said, I'll wind back the clock, and he did his thing, Tig. So unfortunately, not involved this year with the Achilles, and his recent Instagram post with the ex-wife of Donald Trump's son. He's posted some sort of selfie on a sort of hammock and said, "Just can we lay low?" And I don't know if that creates a bit more buzz.
To tell Trumpy's daughter just to settle down on the stock market. He's killing us. Settle down on the tariffs there, Trumpy. All right, had a look at my portfolio. I'm getting cooked. Let's keep moving through the Aussies while we go through. Now, we're obviously bringing a lot of education to everyone listening because you don't have a lot of time it's hard to find information, Q, to understand who's got the form and who doesn't. We're going to get into that in a second, but keep going through the other Aussies before we get to Dommy with who's running hot.
We got Jim Nance putting you to sleep. Keep listening to me and you'll sleep very, very well. But Adam Scott, world number 31 now. He's fought really, really hard, Scotty, to sort of get himself in that position back in the top 50 in the world. Obviously, the Masters champion in 2013. He's a genuine superstar. The Rolls Royce, if you could, become a golfer and have his career, he'd be the guy I'd pick. He's just, got his own jet, does all that sort of stuff. Consistent top finishes, including a tied 9th, tied 2nd, tied 8th, and a victory. Struggling with recent results, tied 57 and miscut finishes. So, something will come over Scotty as he heads into Augusta. He can shape the ball both ways. It's the greens for me. His putting, if he putts well, Scotty goes really well. The legacy he has at Augusta National and for Australia, like Doma just said, it's incredible.
23 consecutive cuts for Adam Scott.
Really? That's a great little fact there. 23 straight.
Longest running consecutive cuts at the Masters. Just a picture of consistency, Scotty.
And with that, has he hit Augusta in terrible form the last couple of years, or has he been in better form?
He's been in good form. Like the thing about Adam Scott and the word is probably consistency. Like he never has really, really bad form slumps. He's always thereabouts. So I don't think for these guys who have been there and won majors, I don't think the form coming in plays a massive role at Augusta National. You can see someone coming from the clouds who have won here before or something like that, Tommy. So, but he's never had like a massive slump, only with his putting. But apart from that, he's pretty good.
Consistent. Keep going through, mate, while we've got a couple more Aussies there.
Yep, the human headline at the moment, Jason Day, the Melbourne King, ranked 36 in the world. He's passed Masters results, tied 30th, tied 39th, tied 5th, 20th. He missed a couple of cuts there. He's finished 2nd and 3rd at Augusta, so he can obviously move the ball around there quite well. Last 5 starts, he's had a tied 8th, tied 27th, 50th, 13th and 32nd. So former world number 1, major winner. He's been in okay form without sort of setting the world on fire in recent times, but he's reconnected with his old coach. He's working on a few things. I think the flat stick being the putter for Jason Day this week will tell the story. If he can get that moving, and Augusta, obviously, if he can putt well there, his ball striking stacks up and his short game is incredible. So it's the putting for J Day. But yeah, live chance. All of them are a real chance, the Aussies. They're so competitive at the moment.
Well, we know Forbesy at the end there said PointsBet's worst result is Minwoo Lee. And out of all the Aussies, you think who will be the winner out of all those Aussies?
Well, there's one more, but I do think Cam Smith will be our best performer this week.
Cam Smith, number 1 ranked for the Q stick.
Yeah,
and one more. Touch on your
the
last
final Aussie is Cam Davis. So he's a forgotten man of Aussie golfers. We nearly forgot him just now.
Just leading you in, King. I see him on the run sheet.
Very, very quiet guy. Can move the ball both ways, which is one of the good things about him. He had a great year last year with a tied 12th finish, which shows he's got the game to compete at Augusta. I think it's his 3rd edition at Augusta National. And he started the year with 3 top 20s, and then he's gone 4 missed cuts in a row on the PGA Tour. So, like I said before, form isn't you need to be in okay form coming into Augusta, but Cam Davis is a mercurial talent and love the way he goes about it.
He had probably the best shot I think I've ever seen on TV recently, Cam Davis. It was at Pebble Beach where he did have that top 10, and it was on the 18th hole. He was stuck in some tree branches, tree roots.
Saw that.
And he somehow put some side spin on it that it was on a dime, Traino. Remarkable shot. It even sort of, confused the experts that were commentating. They couldn't believe what they saw with the ability to put some spin on that ball from that position on the sort of tree root.
Yeah, it's on the tree root. Like it's amazing. I saw that online.
It's a broken wrist for me or you, and it's a tap-in birdie for Cam Davis.
Yeah, he's a mercurial talent.
Forbesy, just with the Aussies there, like what odds are we talking for all 5 of them?
So in terms of the top Aussie, which is one of the markets we've got on PointsBet, Minwoo Lee leads the way at $3.30. Then you got Cam Smith, $3.60, Jason Day, $3.80. So they're the sort of 3 that the market's sort of tending towards and sort of backed up by the stats. Adam Scott, who's 151 to win, he's $5.50 for the top Aussie. So you're sort of needing a couple of the other boys to sort of fall over there to be in with a chance. And then Cam Davis, the big outsider, at $9.50. You're getting around 56 for Minwoo Lee to take the tournament out, and then obviously bigger odds for the rest of the Aussies on the back of that. But yeah, Cam Smith is probably the one that I think will probably firm up a touch as we get closer. So you're getting $3.60 for the top Aussie at the moment with us at PointsBet.
Geez, that's a lot of juice for you, Mr. Consistent.
I was just tapped on and said that's value. So yeah, have a look. Game more responsibly.
Now, quick one, Q. Just one more little insight, but the field, right?
Yep.
96 golfers.
Correct.
5 amateurs.
Yep.
And 18 past winners.
Yep.
And 50 make the cut.
50 make the cut and ties. So it's a pretty generous cut at Augusta National. It is an invitational, which a lot of people do forget. So at the end of the day, Augusta National, the golf club, choose who plays in the event. So yeah, they cap it at 96. If you're a past winner, you automatically get in. There's 5 amateurs. There could be 6. A guy called Win Ye Ding, who won the Asia Pacific Amateur last year, had an invite, but he chose to turn professional and take his DP World Tour card. Jasper Stubbs, an Australian, won that event last year and played there. But Win Ye's, foregone that and gone turned professional. So there could be 97. But they didn't invite another AM. So, yeah, 96.
Your day starts now, boys. Make it happen. How good's this Inglewood coffee? A big shout out to the team. As we were talking about later on, we're going to give away a year's supply of coffee beans in our Masters sweep. I'm pretty excited to announce how you can enter that. But now it's time to talk about the favourites, the Smokies, and the live golfers. Dommy boy, you're going to head this one up. Who are our favourites in the Masters this year?
Going to say 7 names, Tommy, but 2 have separated themselves. And I'm going to throw to you in a second, Forbesy, to support this, but you can't go past Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy. Really the 2 best players in world golf. To build the case, Scheffler hasn't been his usual dominant self, and it's hard to back up what he achieved last year. Since an incident at home cooking, there was a bit of shard of glass got stuck in his hand, so I'm not sure if there's a bit of lag effect from that or hasn't fully recovered. But putting stats are good, slight drop-off in his ball striking. There's a lot of very good, but not great. And I think there's a slight weakness, which is where Rory McIlroy, it's his opportunity, he's primed, he's ready to pounce. He's won twice this year, should win. The big stat for me for Rory McIlroy, the one to watch, can he shoot 70 or under on day one? And I'll give you the stats to support that right now. Since 2019 at the Masters, rounds 1 and 2 combined, plus 14 over the card.
That's horrific.
Yep. Since 2019 at the Masters, round 3 and 4, so that's the weekend, he's 22 under.
Wow.
So that's a 36 shot difference. if he can create somewhat of a hot start, he wins this golf tournament for mine, Tommy.
That's really good. So, Forbesy, with the markets that PointsBet set, there's obviously a leader after the first day or two, So is there something there to support what Dommy just said? Because you'd think that he can't win it if he doesn't start well. Is that what you're saying as well?
Yeah, if he can shoot 71, 70, 69 day one, that's his case. He's winning that golf event.
Oh, that's a big call. He never won it before, right?
Just before you throw to Forbesy, the thing with Rory that's different this year is his approach to the game. So what he said he didn't like about Augusta National was, well, you need to play boring golf. So you need to play a cut as a bomber off the tee and probably not hit driver everywhere. He's found some new shots. So he hits these a three-quarter swing where he can sort of flight the ball a bit better into the greens. And I think that's where you're going to see Rory having more makeable putts. Like we all talk about his putting, how it's let him down. But if you're hitting the ball closer to the hole, you've got a higher percentage chance of making these putts. So that's where McIlroy has won at the Players. He didn't play that well at the Players to win it, which I think is a really, really big tick for McIlroy going into this week.
Yeah, look, I totally agree. You're getting $17 for McIlroy to be leading after the first round, and he's currently $7.50 to win the tournament. Obviously, the longer the tournament goes, the better players, the cream does rise to the top. But I totally agree. Look, I think this is Rory's best chance to win a Masters. He's gone in sort of with mixed form over the last couple of years, and he's had more meltdowns than hot dinners around Augusta coming into Saturdays and Sundays. But he's won twice this year. Won at Pebble. He won at the Players, which are pretty stacked fields. I think it's his best form going into the Masters for a long time. His record at majors recently has been a bit shaky, which is those early rounds. So if he can start well and just shoot even par or better, I think all the money will come for Rory after that first round. I think punters at the moment are a little bit gun shy because, you invest your cash and you're done after day one. But I think if he can shoot a good round when markets go back up, I think a lot of money will come for Rory after that first round.
And watching the Netflix doco, he just looks more relaxed, doesn't he, boys? I reckon he's had a big 3-4 years with all this live golf and him just supporting the tour. I don't know. I just feel like he's in a better headspace.
He's taken a step back from being a spokesperson representing the PGA Tour. He said, let the heavies handle that. I'm going to focus on golf. And Forbes nailed it. He's actually won with his B game this year. So it's like you, Trano, rolling out the Subiaco Oval there and thinking, look, I don't have the leg speed today, or I'm a little bit sort of heavy-legged from a 6-day break, bit of travel, and you still go out and get your 20, kick a goal, you do your thing.
Every week.
And Rory, with his B game, has been good enough to win on tour. He has 7 top 10s at the Masters throughout his lifetime. The pedigree's there. He can produce on this golf course. Starts well, wins this golf event.
If he has a 4-footer to win it on Sunday, I might die. The way he's been going with those 4-footers down the stretch has been very questionable of late.
Is he the one guy that you want to see win? Like, who's someone that you just want to see win? Is it Rory?
Freddie Couples.
It is Rory for me. Like, I do. I love Rory. I've grown up watching Rory, and the talent that he had when he was young, everyone thought he was the next Tiger. And look, he probably hasn't got to the level that everyone thought he would get to, but what he's done for the game of golf and just the way he does play his golf, I'm a huge fan of his and be very, very happy to see him win it.
The one guy I do want to see win, I think there's a romance to Jordan Spieth, where obviously had a massive collapse when he was looking to go back-to-back, which is a very tough thing to do at the Masters. Only 3 have ever gone back-to-back in its 88-year journey. Spieth was in the pole position to be able to achieve that, put it in the drink on 12. I think he put it in the drink again, bad bunker shot, tournament over. Danny Willett came in from the side door to win that event. There's a nice romance because I think Spieth, he's nudging, he's returning to his somewhat of his best form. He's got that bit of a Stevie J comparison to his golf. He's got that mercurial, maybe not super consistent, although Stevie J by the back end of his career, super consistent. So I think there's a nice ability for Spieth to rejuvenate himself and get back on the winners list.
Like it. You?
For me, it's John Rahm. I think he's gone over to live golf. He sort of went in a bit last year, probably a bit down on what he thought he was going to achieve. Battled some injuries. I think he's in a really good spot. On Data Golf Ranking, which is the sort of the Rebel Golf rankings, when they actually give live golf players ranking points, he's 4th in the world without sort of setting the world on fire. He's won there before. He's got a sneaky good short game. Watched him for a little bit at live golf in Adelaide, and he's just bombs it and both ways. So, yeah, John Rahm would be
he's finished outside the top 10 in a live tournament that he's played. So his form is exceptional. And if you look recently, I think he had a quad on 17 recently at Miami. So his finish is much worse there than what it is. And you got to have good form at Augusta as well. You can't go into Augusta and not have form at the course. And he's one that does have form there. So I think he's a big tick.
And on that form, Forbesy, he's 59 under par on par fives since his debut in 2017. So he just dominates those par fives, a bit like the Q stick, gets it off the tee, hits that 7 hybrid in, and then
three-putt par. Yep.
Currently $15 to win as well. So you are getting a touch of value there for a bloke that has been ultra consistent in his recent form, as well as consistent at Augusta.
It was Johnny Rahm that skimmed it across the lake, wasn't it? On the
Holden,
yeah, that's got to be one of the greatest hole-in-ones you ever see. Is it?
I think Shane Warne actually had a hole-in-one on that 16th.
He did.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah.
How much he hadn't done the kid.
Yeah.
Any hole-in-ones for you, Train?
No, there's none for me. We'll get to hole-in-ones in a second.
Your
But
swing, that's hard to
there's a big hole-in-one just 2 down. Dommy will never forget the moment that the Train forgot to get his handicap and then Dommy sunk the hole-in-one and it doesn't count.
Never.
I just forgot to sign up the day before. He said, make sure you get your handicap. And I said, oh, man, I've been busy.
Jack Watts pulled out as well. I think he had a bit of a bender the night before and he was due to roll in at an 8 a.m. tee time and we got the 7:59, sorry, can't make it. And then you're running across the practice fairway to make the tee slot and haven't checked in properly to the clubhouse. And then, I'm sort of had half a back roll and thought I'll hit a 5-iron out there and one bounce sunk it. And obviously pandemonium, we're hugging, we're celebrating. And then I'm thinking, I can't wait to get my name on the honour board. And Traino, oh, mate, I haven't actually registered for future golf. I've been meaning to do that, so I can't go on the comp today.
Do it on the spot.
I
think we tried.
It kills me that you have it. To tell you what, the moment to witness a hole-in-one, I think it would be as good as hitting one, I would imagine. But you boys haven't hit one yet? No?
No. I was recently on a golf trip with 14 blokes and one of the boys had one, which was it became one of the all-time boys we're over in New Zealand. And played at the Hills and managed to have a hole-in-one with a nice 8-iron and pandemonium and one of the very big nights out in Queenstown after that hole-in-one.
That's amazing. It's so good. Did he get his name on the
No names on any honour boards, which I think is probably a good thing because that's quite a prestigious golf course and he's quite an unprestigious friend of mine. So
Let's keep moving through. Dommy, have you got any more favourites? I think we've touched on the top ones, but any smokies?
Yeah, I do, Tommy. I love 2 left-handers who traditionally stack up well at the Masters, and they're Ashkay Bhatia and Bobby Mack, right? So both of them, they're actually in a way very similar. There's some juicy odds, Forbes. I'll throw to you in a second, but there's some fearlessness to them. They're all touch, they're all feels, and the vibes are good. Essentially, that's why I like them. Bobby Mack in 2021, he debuted at the Masters. He got a top 12. That's, 4 years ago. Much better player than he was back then. He's had Ryder Cup experience and he's also won he's won the Scottish Open. He nudged off Scotty that time and another Open event on the DP World Tour. Wouldn't be shocked if Bobby Mack is right up there on day 4 of that leaderboard.
I love it. We love roughies. Is there any more roughies? Q, you got another roughie for us?
I've actually got Robbie McIntyre as my best roughie in the field this week. As echoing everything Dom said, he's had 5 top 15 finishes last year. Worldwide, and then including a tied 6 at the Phoenix Open and 9th just recently at the Players. So he's a very good player, and the lefty sort of bias at Augusta National, which, like I spoke about, hitting those cuts off the tee, it's a natural sort of lefty course. So I think it suits him really well. If he can putt well, he hasn't been putting overly well, Rob, but the rest of his game's been unbelievable. So he's my best roughie for the week for sure.
I'm just thinking of a market, lefties v righties. You boys are obsessed with lefties at the moment. Who won last year and the year before? Were they left or right?
No, right.
they're right.
Well, what's all this left jargon?
Well, back before all the sort of technology got into golf, and we're getting a little bit golf nerdy here, but you had to be a right-hander. So you had to get the ball to run out and get a long way off the tee. So you had to hit these big slingy draws. Since the game's evolved, the lefties can sort of play those power fades and get the ball to roll out. So they're up sort of where they want to be, and being able to hit that little cut's a much safer shot than trying to hit a big hooky draw. So they're not losing the ball off the tee. So that's why recently you've had Bubba, you've had Phil win it twice, you had Mike Weir steal one as a lefty. Yep. So being a lefty is not the disadvantage that it used to be at Augusta. So they are right in it. So being Akshay being a lefty, he's 76. Going through the roughies, you got McIntyre at 56, which I think they're both in the market. So I think that's probably the right price for them, but don't be shocked if, on Sunday they're coming down the stretch in contention.
I'd love to talk to you off air and see if we can get Ausmerican Aces Hub. We're going to get something special later, but I want to get a left v right. I'm going to back me right hand in. I reckon this left is all
There's
bullshit.
there's only 8 lefties in the field, mate, so you get pretty good odds.
Well, it sounds like you need to be a lefty to win it. Let's get to the Live Golfers, boys. The Live Golfers, the first year they entered this, I'm pretty sure they all made the cut. So talk to me about the form going into the Masters with these Live boys.
Yeah, we've got a few names to whip through here. We've got Patrick Reed, obviously a past winner 2018. We've got the Rambo, Johnny Rahm, who we've touched on. One that we haven't mentioned just yet. You love him, Tommy. I know you love him. It's Wako Niemann. Have I said that?
Q's, man.
Q's at a G&T with him at Live Golf after party.
How do you say his first name, Q-Stick?
Joaquim.
You've had him on the podcast, haven't you?
I've had him on the Tee It Up Golf podcast. Make
Well,
sure
if
you go
anyone
and listen to
listening,
that.
get to tee it up and search that one because that was an amazing listen.
Before the Aussie, he won the Aussie Open up in Sydney 2 years ago, and then he came back to defend last year and he stormed home. But he obviously won Live Golf Adelaide. He's the captain of Team Torquay. He is the really, really powerful golfer. There's not much of him. He's a bit of a string bean, but he can get it out there, can move the ball around. Sneaky good short game. He's got the invite to play this year based off his form worldwide. He won on the Asian Tour. He won the Asian Tour Championship last year. So his game travels. Love the way he goes about it. Very humble, nice guy. So you like to see these guys perform and go well.
Toby Green last night on TFG Tuesday said his man Prowsey sent through that name and said he will win it. And he reckons the person who'll win it this year will be a freshie.
Well, Phil Mickelson, obviously with the Live bias, but did say that Wako Niemann is the best player in the world right now.
Wow.
Right now.
Forbesy?
Yeah, you're getting $29 to win. So I think he's a massive chance. The only thing I'll knock on him, he's never really played that well at the Masters in the past. I think tied 16 might be his best finish. But the form he's in over the last 12, 18 months, it's hard to find someone who's sort of in better and more consistent form in world golf. So if you're looking for someone around that $20 to $30 mark, I think he's right in the market.
I love it. Any more Live Golf form?
I've got a couple. You can't deny Tyrrell Hatton. He's a top 3 performer on Live all year. He's thereabouts. He's fantastic to watch. Wears his heart on his sleeve. Emotion runs sort of very strong on his sort of game. Angry guy.
Yeah, one of the great hot mic players of all time.
We like a hot head.
Yeah.
Another one is that we were just talking off air with Forbesy, but Sergio Garcia, past winner, obviously. He's had 2 wins in his last 6 starts on Live. He has big time intentions to make the Ryder Cup team. For him to make the Ryder Cup team, has to perform well, literally right now at the Masters. This is his one shot. He's a ball striking genius, Forbesy.
Yeah, I'm chips him, Sergio. Big fan. Managed to get a practice round in with him a couple of years ago
hang on
at
a
Live.
second. Just let him beautifully.
He's a direct line.
What'd you learn?
He's a close friend, Sergio. I learnt that he's a big fan of Daniela Hunchakova, which is probably a story for off air.
Is that a tennis player?
Yes, yeah, former tennis player.
I thought you were going to say Paige, Page.
Yes, no. But look, he ticks all the boxes again. He's won at the Masters before. He's in fantastic form. He's long and accurate off the tee, which you have to be at Augusta. And his short game is just sneaky good at the moment as well.
He's
So
in great putting form.
Yeah.
He's found a putter that works, and that's something that I was going to add. He's like on the data golf ranking, which again is the Rebel golf ranking. He's number 19 in the world. So his world golf ranking is 388, but he's number 19 pretty much on all the tournaments he's playing. So he's one of the original guys to go over to Live Golf, but recent times he won a couple of starts ago. But his putting has been what's keeping him in it. So Sergio, really, really live chance. He's number 2 ranked player on Live Golf this year.
yeah, $81 in the market. So I'll be having a little dabble there at that price. I think he's my smoky, and I think he'll go very deep come Sunday.
And with the markets giving you top 5, top 10, top 20,
Yes.
it's nice. We'll talk about the top 20 market we're going to create later, but that sounds like a real fun one when you're telling me that he's ranked 19 there, Q-Stick.
Yep.
45 years old, I believe he is. It's just on age. I'm just thinking, what's a good age for the winner? Like, is there an average age of the winner? Like, do you think there's a certain age where you can't win it?
There would be a certain age of the average winner, but I don't know what that stat is off the
But
top
like, do
of
you
my
think,
head.
like, just in your brain right now, do you remember the last 5 winners? And you know, I'm just thinking about the Spieth call you had. Is there a certain
Looking
sweet
at
spot?
majors, Tommy, like Mickelson winning the PGA a couple of years ago was an anomaly. So he was in his late 40s at the time, almost 50. You're probably looking at someone who's been on tour for 7 to 8 years. Or speaking of Augusta National, I did see some stats. People entering their 6th time at Augusta National, their putting stats go through the roof. So the first couple of years they're working out the greens. So guys who have experience at Augusta, no one's won on debut there for God knows, since 1974, I believe.
Say that again, because that's important for
A
the
long, long
punters.
time. So people on debut have not won there since 1974, I believe, Tommy. And correct, people can Google that and, smash me if I'm wrong. But I think I'm accurate, actually.
You're accurate, but there's a couple of seconds on debut, and it's one name that we haven't quite mentioned yet.
Yes.
Ludwig Aberg.
Say that again, Dommy.
Ludwig Aberg.
Oh, that's got a bit to it.
Hopefully Jim Nance is saying it over and over again and we can all fall asleep beautifully. He's a young Adam Scott, really, isn't he? He's a good-looking young lad. Had a torn meniscus last year, which probably impacted his sort of late-season form. He won already this year down at Torrey Pines. Brilliant ball striker. There's no real fault in his game. Coming back for his second crack here at Augusta, so hopefully learn a little bit about the greens. Interesting enough, his stats hitting out of the rough is really poor. That's what's let him down on the PGA Tour. Fun fact, there is no rough at Augusta. It's pine straw debris.
A foot a second.
And they have to call it second cut, don't they? They're not allowed to call it
There's
the
a
rough
foot
if
of the
part of
second
the
cut.
contract of calling or something I heard the other week.
Apparently.
With a fully repaired meniscus, he'll have the power from that lower body to drive it out of that second cut.
There you go. I'll make sure he's looking, ready to go there. Dommy, say his name one more time.
Ludwig Aberg.
It's really tough to say a few of their names. Like your man Neiman, I really struggle with his first name.
Wacko.
Yeah, but how do you pronounce it that way, the way it's spelt?
Wakim.
Joaquim, and it's the
Joaquim.
first letter is?
Jay.
There you go. At school, it was Ja. Starts with J.
I'm a bit worried about
Joaquim.
I'm a bit worried about Ludwig this year at the Masters. I think his form coming in is pretty subpar. He's battling that injury, like you said, Tommy, but he did win at the Genesis. But the players he missed the cut, and then the way he missed the cut at the Valero Texas Open a couple of weeks ago sort of worries me a bit. Second year Blues, like second year player, like park footballer here.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you up. Don't you fucking worry about it.
I never said I was any good at footy. But
I'm talking on golf course. I'm talking golf.
Park
38
golfer.
points. 38 points at Southern last week with Sipos. Oh, they had a bit of a band at the handicap wasn't right. I think it was 21.
Signed up this time.
He's obviously signed up.
No, but he worries me. I just think, there's a little bit of expectation this year. Last year there was no expectation. It was his first major, first look at Augusta, but maybe they overthink it a little bit. I'm not sure, but he's the ultimate pro. I hope he goes well, but yeah, he's not a guy. I'd have him missing the cut this year, to be honest.
Yeah, he's $19 to win. I've seen a little bit of money come for him, but yeah, look, I think the second year Blues might hit him a little bit. I think he was still 4 shots back last year to finish second. Scotty sort of really ran away with it.
Yeah.
So it probably flatters him a little bit. In past years, he might be sort of, tied 10th, something like that, being 4 shots back. So there weren't too many players under par last year with those tough conditions. Yeah.
Like DeChambeau on it.
Well, boys, we know our friends at PointsBet have something special for the Masters, a bit like that day Dommy hit a hole-in-one. To celebrate the ace, PointsBet will give you payout early if your tournament winner bet hits a hole-in-one at the Masters. That's right. Hit a hole-in-one at the Masters and you will get your money paid out. That's right. So pick a player, take the tournament, and if they nail an ace, you win. Check your account for personalised max stake limits. T's and C's apply. PointsBet, built different. But boys, that's an amazing market. There's been one on average every year. So there's been 10 in the last 10 years. So if you can get on one of these roughies and they hit a hole-in-one, you get paid out a winner. That's a great market from PointsBet, Forbesy.
Yeah, look, it's a fantastic market. It's a bit of fun as well. So, even come Sunday, if your player's absolutely no chance and you'd be just sitting there watching him on 16, hopefully they can roll one down the hill, just jag it, be 11 over at the end of the day, but you've still been paid out. No, we like to look after the punters and it's a fantastic market, something a little bit different as well. So fingers crossed, a couple of guys can jag a hole-in-one for the tournament.
Well, I reckon you're lying because you don't want it to happen. It's a Min Woo Lee job, that one. That'd be up for a bit of liability, I reckon. But we're going to launch it, that one. So,
as a hole-in-one.
all right, let's get to any more promos, Forbesy, any more fun facts about the Masters before we give our predictions?
Oh, look, just in terms of the stats a little bit for the punters, 5 of the last 12 winners have paid 40 to 1 or better. So if you can find someone of a bit of value, you're going to get a good price, obviously. Scheffler and DJ in 2020, I think it was, the only winners in single figures at that time. And the way that they were playing, they were very short in the market. If you are looking for a bet, it's the approach play and scrambling, so the ability to get up and down. Strokes gained on the field, tee to green, is the stat you really need to look at. So guys that strike the ball well, they hit it a long way. They're the ones that you need for success in the tournament. So there's a few there that I do like. I think Colin Morikawa is probably one that everyone's sleeping on a little bit. His form has sort of struggled a little bit of late, but the way he hits the ball, I was reading the other day, his 6-iron, the dispersion of his 6-iron is the equivalent to most players on the tour pitching wedge. So that's how good he is with his irons in hand. So if he can putt the ball well and keep it pretty straight off the tee, I think he'll be in it on Sunday afternoon.
Are there any other names that we haven't mentioned that you feel like we've disrespected that, you know, someone out there listening right now is going, come on, boys. You haven't, I mean, Brooks Koepka could be one. Why aren't we?
Brooks is the one. I was going to mention Brooks. I think he's hitting the ball pretty well at the moment. He hits it a mile off the tee. He's putting well at the moment. So I do think he's a smoky. And again, these live guys that have got all the cash in the world now and they can just focus on these majors. And now that sort of the beef has settled a little bit between the two tours, I think Brooks is one that is a big chance.
Boys, I think you're disrespecting one of the better players in the world right now. I think
Xander
we're all
Schauffele?
disrespecting Xander Schauffele. Last year in majors, he had 2 wins. He won 2 majors. He had an 8th and a 7th. Since his debut in majors in 2018, he has finished inside the top 10 in over 50% of his starts. And that stretch has been better than any player who is not named Scotty Scheffler. So second best player in majors over the last 7 years is Xander Schauffele, making his 8th appearance at the Masters. Like I spoke about, you sort of got to be in that sweet spot post 6 years. In terms of his ball striking, now this is what you spoke about, tee to green. His ball striking is incredible. He had a really slow start to this year, rib injury. Don't know how he hurt a rib playing golf, but anyway, that's, you know, I wonder what he was got up to off the course. This boy loves a big stoiker, but he had a slow start, like I mentioned. But at the Valspar Championship, he had a solid 11.276 strokes gained on approach, which is very, very important, and that's better than any player worldwide in 2025. So his approach game is incredible. Loves it here at Augusta. Finished second to Tiger back in 2019. Can obviously knock it around here at Augusta National. 2 majors last year. Learned how to close. Learned how to win. Monkey off the back. He's my tip. We haven't got there yet, but he's going to be my tip.
Well, we're there now.
Well, we're there now, and he's my tip, and I reckon he's great value. I'm not sure what Forbes he's got him at, but yeah, I wouldn't be looking anywhere else for a winner this week.
Yeah, he's $21. I backed him to win the Masters last year, and then he came out and won 2 majors after that. So I'm never having another dollar in my life on him to win a tournament, but he's $21. And look, it is hard to argue with the stats that Kiz ran through there, but yeah, no, he can get stuffed.
Sounds like Steffi Magnetti or whatever. What's it called?
Steffi Magnetica.
Yeah, Steffi
another
Magnetica.
Horse for the bin file as well.
I backed that twice and said, I've had enough. And what do you know? It wins at 20s last week. It's you got to follow up. I want you all to look down the barrel. We're going to start with the Q stick. We'll go to Dommy Boy and then we'll go to Forbesy. I want you to look down the barrel and tell everyone who will win the 2025 Masters.
The 2025 US Masters winner will be Xander Schauffele in emphatic fashion.
The 2025 Masters will be won by Rory McIlroy, primed, ready, weakness in Scheffler. It's his to win.
The winner of the US Masters 2025 will be Colin Morikawa, hitting it a mile, and he does have form at the course.
The 2025 Masters winner will be Min Woo Lee, and PointsBet will be bleeding. The man will be cooking, and so will my wallet. All right, lads, that's our tips. I want to get to our Ausmerican Aces multi that we're predicting here. It's the top 20. I want everyone here, we're going to have a little bit of fun. I want you all to pick one player that is going to feature in the top 20. And I'm going to send a little message to Forbesy and the team and see if we can get a little special up on our Ausmerican Aces hub. Okay, give me a lock for top 20. And when I say lock, just maybe a little bit more, value as well to the lock, starting with you, Q.
Yeah, Russell Henley for me. He's a cut-making machine, ball-striking machine. If he can get the putter going well, he's finished tied 4th here a couple of years ago. Rarely misses a cut. Very understated golfer. Quite boring, in fact, but, makes cuts, holes putts.
Love it. He's 240. He'll go in. Let's go to you, Dom.
I've got Shane Lowry to be a top 20 man.
I like that.
He's top 25 in 4 of his last 5 Masters starts. So the pedigree is there. Excellent short game. Plays well on tough courses. Shane Lowry, the Irishman.
Love it. 220. Let's go to you, Forbesy.
John Rahm for me. Hitting it a mile off the tee at the moment. Plays that little cut. Great form at the course. John Rahm, top 20.
$1.60. That goes in. And I'll take my man, Will Zalatoris, for a top 20. He's 250. He loves the Masters. He had the back. He had a bit of Forbesy's treatment. He had the back, but they've straightened him up. He's been hitting the Cairo and the Osteo, and they've just lined him up perfectly for 2025 Masters. And he adds a little bit of juice there, as I said, 250. So we'll get that one up, combine them, and see what our friends at PointsBet can cook us up. Now, boys, we love a sweep. It's very hard to do these Masters sweep. We've done them in the past. We thought we'll do the first comment on YouTube can enter. We've done something different this year. We've decided to do 2 competitions, but the first one is our American Aces sweep. And as I said, what you will win is you'll win a year's supply of Inglewood coffee beans. That's right. You'll get a kilo supplied on the first day of every month on your doorstep. And you'll also win this bag behind me. What do you think of this bag behind me, boys? Just quietly for anyone listening.
Sensational.
Looks fantastic, doesn't
It's the brand new Cobra Vessel Season Opener Golf Bag. It's the Masters Edition, and it looks amazing. So if you go online at aussie-americanaces.com.au, all you have to do is sign up to enter our sweep. There might be 500 people sign up. We know there's only 96, 97. I don't know how many people are going to be
Tommy.
in. You said there might be one more. We're not sure, but
No,
let's go
he's
with
not playing.
96. That means that we'll pick at random 96 people, and then you'll be paired with someone. And on Instagram Thursday, you will see if you made the cut. So it's going to be fun. We're talking about making the cut at Augusta. Well, you got to see if you can make the cut in our sweep. But that will be free, and you'll be able to go home with the prize worth over about $2,000. So enter at aussie-americanaces.com.au. That'll be in the show notes as well. And we've also got an Instagram giveaway. We can't just do one for the sweep. So we're thinking next week we'll give away another bag, which is behind you, Dommy. We'll give away some Clutch & Co. and some more Inglewood coffee beans. Dommy, you've got some new Clutch on the way as well.
We'll do head-to-toe packages, mate, for those prizes as well. Support the winners, getting involved in a great sweep. Great podcast by you at the Aussie American Aces. New products for Clutch & Co. Autumn, winter arriving throughout April and May. So keep an eye on our website for that. And the co-branded vests, they're available online with the Aussie American Aces logo there on that left breast.
Are we still running the discount code, Dommy boy?
You love a discount code. You flog it to death, and we love supporting it. Aces discount code is active on the Clutch & Co. website, 20% off.
That's right. We want to give you guys some value, and it's the best stuff in town. It's very well priced. So use Aces at checkout, 20% off at clutchandco.com, and you'll be sorted. Lads, as I said, hit an ace. PointsBet will pay you out early if your tournament winner bet hits a hole-in-one at the Masters. I just think that's as good as it gets. So check your account for personalised max stake limits. T's and C's apply. PointsBet, they are built different. And so are you, lads. All the best with this. I can't wait to get all these up. I want to see everyone else's predictions. Get in the comments and let us know who you think will win. That's all we've got. The US Masters, American Aces Golf Show. It's been fun, boys.
Thanks, Tommy.
Awesome, Tommy. Great job.
Thanks, Tommy.
All right, well, Forbesy, good luck to you and the team. Minwoo, it'll be a great story, and let's hope one of our predictions gets up, boys. I don't know if we've ever predicted one, have we, Dommy?
Not yet, Tommy, but we're feeling good this year, mate.
We are. Let's hope a favourite doesn't win. I don't want to see a favourite win. Anyway, that's enough from me. Hit subscribe, share this podcast with someone that loves golf. Get involved with our sweep. It's in the show notes as well. We appreciate your support, and have a fun week. We're at Gather Round. If you're in Adelaide, get to the Cumbie. Otherwise, tune in the Masters all weekend. We're going to be riding home all our winners, and we appreciate your support. See you next time.
Make a shot, man.
Since 2016, there've been 10 holes in one at Augusta. 10 perfect shots on the biggest stage in golf. This year at PointsBet, place a pre-tournament bet on the winner of the Masters, and if your player hits an ace during the 4 rounds, you win. That's right. Hit a hole in one, get paid out early. Check your account for personalised max stake limit. PointsBet. Built different. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.